Who would have thought it would be this margin halfway up the first beat?
As the race progressed, New Zealand continued to extend that lead.
They're now out to a lead of around 320 metres. At the bottom mark, it was 140 metres as we look up the course there towards mark number 3 and look across that advantage line there. It is enormous.
Today is the 12th race by NZL 32. The 36th race by Team New Zealand at America's Cup 95. And this is the 155th start by a New Zealand yacht in America's Cup competition. Excellent performance today by NZL 32. Behind at the start, struggling to gain control on that first beat to windward. But when they got their nose in front, they have capitalized from there. This has been a comprehensive victory for Black Magic, coming down to get their third gun on a row. The gun to Team New Zealand. Black Magic needs 2 more wins to become the challenger for America's Cup 95.
But the boxing kangaroo was winding up for a big punch in the next race.
So here comes Team New Zealand now. They're on starboard.
They're late.
So Team New Zealand do seem to be late. Definitely. One Australia are looking in very good position at the moment. So we're coming up to 25 seconds. One Australia are looking sharp at the moment. One Australia would be about 15 seconds back from the line. Team New Zealand are trying to build up momentum. They're deep in the start zone at 15 seconds. Too late, Team New Zealand. Far too late. So One Australia has won this easily. We can tell that even before they get to the gun. So here's the gun. One Australia is a boat length back from the line. The gun now. One Australia a boat length back from the line in the windward position. Meanwhile, Team New Zealand is a boat and a half length behind them as they tack over onto port. Well, that was not good. So now Team New Zealand have gone onto port and they've instigated a tacking duel even before they've cleared the start box. They move on to start. So One Australia is clearly in front. They've got a smother cover on Team New Zealand. The New Zealanders have got to wriggle out of this and get out of it fast. They've got to get out of phase. So here goes Team New Zealand. They're moving on to port. The Australians have put on a cover. Very good stuff from Australia at the moment. The New Zealanders have got to get out of this fast. They've gone back on to starboard. So now it's Team New Zealand that moved on to starboard. The Australians are going through a low-speed tack as well. Now they've gone on to starboard. The New Zealanders are wriggling. They're wanting to get out of this cover of the Australians. They haven't even got anywhere near maximum boat speed. Nowhere near momentum. The advantage would be a boat length and a half at least to One Australia, maybe 2, and they're to windward. So One Australia really in the commanding position. It wasn't so much the brilliance of Rod Davis on the helm as perhaps we saw yesterday. Team New Zealand were late. Stand by to the tack on One Australia. It's another boat length or 2 for the black boat. In the uncustomary position of coming second as One Australia's at the top mark. Real pressure here on the cruise to do it right. One Australia to get it up and get away. Team New Zealand to get it up quickly at 14 seconds.
This is a great boat race here today. What a day.
Oh, there's a problem on One Australia. They've let their halyard go. They've still got the head of the spinnaker. It is 9-10 feet away from the top of the mast. Huge problems aboard One Australia.
But even with the poor spinnaker set on One Australia, the Kiwis couldn't break through.
The end of the first windward leeward. 2 legs of 6 gone and One Australia in front. Before today's race, there have been 22 marks and Black Magic had led in all of them. But in this race, it's One Australia leading at the first mark, and they've held off a ferocious attack and challenge from Black Magic on the first downhill slide. Australia 31 at the leeward mark, hardens on.
Here go Team New Zealand, One Australia going with them. Will it be a dummy? Watch for it. They're head to end. They're faking. Watch for the dummy. They're going back. They've done it. Split tack.
It's a dummy tack by the New Zealanders, and they're out of phase just like that. As One Australia have gone through onto port, and they're committed to hold on to that to build up momentum. And the New Zealanders are away on starboard out of sync.
That's a classic Russell move, that. One Australia were desperately watching him. We saw it before. We thought about it before. We came around that bottom mark with them. They fake tack. One Australia bit, took it hook, line and sinker and a broken rope. Team New Zealand got fresh air left.
Well, what do you reckon? Team New Zealand might have made a bit of a gain there. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh, a bit of a mistake by Team New Zealand. They've got locked in here. This is going to cost them.
And cost them it did. For the first time, Black Magic could find no passing lanes.
And coming down to the line, One Australia give the gun to win race 4 of the Louis Vuitton Cup final. And Team New Zealand are beaten on the water for the first time.
After this win, the Australians were starting to draw parallels with their stunning come-from-behind victory with Australia 2 in 1983. But they hadn't counted on the resolve of Team New Zealand.
Both boats have got to kill time here, kill a lot of time. So it's coming up to 20, 19, 18, 17. So it's One Australia going down the line. They're going out towards the pin end of the line. Team New Zealand is up by the committee boat.
One Oz over.
One Oz is going to be over. One Oz is in trouble. One Oz has got to be in trouble. One Oz could be over. They're over. One Oz is over. One Australia is over the line. Can you believe it? An unforced error. One Australia were going out to the pin end of the line, well and truly in control, and Rod Davis has blown it. Incredible.
Yes, he was over, clearly over from here, no dispute. He was over 2, 3, 4 seconds. We called it.
Well, we could see it. By golly, this is a difficult day, sailors. The current going at 280, the wind at 225, and really Rod Davis had done a good job, and going down towards the pin end of the line. So coming now to the first cross, and Team New Zealand are well and truly in control as their bow builds up one of these big swells, and meanwhile One Australia is on port. Team New Zealand have right of way, but that really is not an issue here. It's not even close. Mark 1, race 5, and Team New Zealand's Black Magic is leading after One Australia were over the line at the start. Well, the New Zealand crew's fired up and humming now, starting to sail on confidence.
Yes, of course, good break there for Team New Zealand. One Australia having to push it, getting over the line, that sort of thing that happens on a high-risk start. Now, Team New Zealand have also gained from the breeze going to the right. They come around nice and safe, good set, good condition this.
Once in front, Black Magic's crew stretched their lead, leaving John Bertrand to contemplate what he had to do to beat the Kiwis.
Well, Team New Zealand continuing to extend there as we see One Australia, and now as we come down the course towards the second mark and look back up, Team New Zealand is just constantly sailing deeper. That means they're sailing closer to the mark, getting there quicker.
And the flags on the boat, it is the committee boat.
As they come down
Committee boat, I reckon.
to really comprehensively beat One Australia to take the gun in race number 5 of the Louis Vuitton Cup final. So now the score is Team New Zealand 4, 1 Australia, remain 1 Australia, and Team New Zealand is just 1 win away from challenging for America's Cup 95.
The sixth and final race of the Louis Vuitton Cup saw Team New Zealand win the start, but it was 1 Australia ahead at the top of the first leg.
Here they go, 1 Australia on to starboard.
They will have right
1
of way.
Australia have got right of way. What's Coots going to do? 1 Australia have got right of way on starboard. Team New Zealand, Lima. They've got a tack below them. Mark 1, race 6, Louis Vuitton Cup final. 1 Australia in front, where the lead is changed several times on this pulsating first beat. Here goes the hoist for 1 Australia. Nearly a boat length in front.
It's a question of who jumps on who. Very close. I think Team New Zealand have got back into this.
1 Australia is jibing.
Now Team New Zealand will bail out of it, I think, almost straight away. Yes, they're bound about, they're absolute neck and neck. Team New Zealand breaking left, 1 Australia breaking right.
What a boat race. They're both going through the jibes. Who can execute it better? Real pressure on the sailors here. The black boat goes away on port. 1 Australia on starboard.
They're managing to roll across in front of 1 Australia.
They go through onto starboard. Black Magic's going there to the bottom mark. The New Zealanders are in front. Mark 2 at the end of the first windward leeward at NZL 32. Harden on the breeze. They're in front of the Australians. What a fantastic downhill slide. The Australians are in trouble. They've got their spinnaker caught up around the spreaders. Big trouble. 21 seconds to New Zealand, and still the Australians can't get their spinnaker down, and they're trawling it. It's all along the starboard side.
This is it, pressure drop here. It's not on the rig that's the problem, it's because they've actually split it. That means they can't control the spinnaker that's in the water. The spinnaker that's in the water could easily wrap around the keel here.
It's ripped, Chris. It's right up by the bow. There's part of the spinnaker up by the bow, and the rest has come right back to the starboard quarter. The Australians are in huge trouble.
Wheels are falling off.
This is costing the Australians. They're losing valuable time.
And that was time the Australians were unable to make up as Black Magic just sailed away.
This race 6 in the final after 112 matches since January, and it will be the last, because to win the America's Cup, first win the Louis Vuitton Cup, and that's what Team New Zealand has done. New Zealand is the 29th challenger for the America's Cup. The guns of Black Magic in race 6 of the Challenger final to take the score. Team New Zealand 5, 1 Australia 1.
The Australians then, while all the attention is on New Zealand, the Australians are going to come in at 2 minutes and 13 seconds behind. The margin doesn't matter. The real important situation is that New Zealand has won this race to go 5-1 up in the best of 9 series, and the corks are popping.
We must now congratulate and celebrate Team New Zealand, Peter Blake, Russell Coots and the whole team. And of course, we all have one wish. They must bring the cup to Auckland.
Well, I just say thank you very much to Louis Vuitton. Thank you to the South Western Yacht Club for organising such a great regatta. And thank you to John Bertrand, Rod Davis and your crew. I know this is a tough day for you, and I think if looking back a few weeks, if been us in your position with your boat going down under you, I'm not quite sure that we would have come back as well as you have. So very well done and fantastic effort.
While Russell Coutts and his crew celebrated, attention was switched to the Defenders Finals to see which boat would defend the America's Cup for the United States. In the end, it came down to this race between Dennis Connor's Stars and Stripes and the women's team on board Mighty Mary. The women got the better of the start and they led at the first cross.
USA 43 Mighty Mary with Leslie Egnott on the helm is on starboard. They have right of way.
They're clear ahead, no doubt.
Easily, it looks comfortable. This is the view now from Mighty Mary, looking back to Stars and Stripes. But really, the advantage Mighty Mary has is not all that big considering the blunder they made at the start.
In a tense tactical battle, Leslie Egnott held Stars and Stripes out as they approached the first mark.
Tell you what, there's so much gas coming off the women's sails right now. They're going to need an oxygen mask on Stars and Stripes.
Mark 1 in this crucial match that will decide Dennis Connor's America's Cup future in 1995. And the women aboard Mighty Mary are leading after the blunder by Stars and Stripes at the start, when it appeared they had Mighty Mary over the line, but somehow the women escaped, and they're in front as Paul Kayard takes Stars and Stripes 20 seconds round the top mark. Now the blue boat will try and attack on the first downhill slide. This has certainly been a huge, huge game to women on Mighty Mary. Two-thirds of the way through the race. Mark number 4. This completes the second windward leeward. 2 legs to go into the final windward leeward. And the women aboard Mighty Mary on their way to pulling off a very, very big win here. The 5th and final mark of this crucial race that will decide the future of Dennis Connor and his Stars and Stripes team. To stay in the America's Cup, Connor needs to win, and it doesn't look likely, as Mighty Mary rounds mark number 5, going into the last leg of the race.
Yes, as Stars and Stripes rounded the final mark, it did appear that Dennis Connor's America's Cup was all but over.
Well, looking at what they've done since the mark rounding, that's Mighty Mary, of course, in the bottom of the screen with the yellow trail coming out the back. Stars and Stripes just rounded the mark. Personally, I would like to see America Cube jibe here. We've heard Stars and Stripes talking about a jibe. The wind looks to have been in the left a bit since they came around the mark. It'd be nice to see them jibe onto starboard and get more directly between Stars and Stripes and that finish line. They have a big lead, but it would be nice to see them play it a little bit safer. They have been to date in this whole race. Let's see the women jibe soon.
They tried to match you. They'd have
in the light and shifty conditions, Connor's experienced crew were staging an impressive comeback.
Well, look at that. Just look at the angles that they're coming back towards each other. That is what happens in the light wind. And this is just still on. They still have 1.8 miles to the finish. And the women, I have to say, have a real boat race on their hands here.
Not even a torn Jennifer could stop Stars and Stripes overtaking Mighty Mary.
When it comes to one race, this surely must be the greatest comeback in Dennis Connor's career. The man that has dominated America's Cup racing for the last 20 years was 4 minutes and 8 seconds behind at mark number 5. And have they really come off the canvas? Stars and Stripes will defend the America's Cup for the United States in 1995. What a comeback as they have beaten Mighty Mary.
Look at these guys.
For Leslie Egnott and her Mighty Mary crew, it was a case of so close, yet so far. But it took more than an uncharacteristically rainy evening in San Diego to dampen spirits at the official America's Cup opening ceremony.
A special send-off to New Zealand. Please welcome Rachel Hunter.
Kiwis, you gotta do it. I'm sorry, I'm on their side this time. Thank you so much and have a great couple of weeks, okay?
Butterworth, Tom Schneckenberg, Dennis Connor.
We look forward to just representing you the best we can. Thanks for coming tonight.
In a controversial move intended to strengthen the American defence, Dennis Connor's Stars and Stripes team merged with the Pac 95 syndicate. Connor and his crew would race on board Young America in the America's Cup. As Black Magic and Young America jostled for position in race 1 of the Best of 9 series, both crews held their breath. Who would be quicker?
Coming up to the final 30 seconds, Young America looking good from where they are at the moment.
They're early, Young America early. They'll have to go bow down. That'll open the door to Team New Zealand. They're on
Young
full
America
charge.
are early at 20 seconds to go. So KR brings the bow down. He's going out towards the pin end. It is Team New Zealand now on starboard, coming up to the line. Coots in the windward position. We're coming down to 8, 6, 5. Coming up to the start of race 1 of the 29th defence of the America's Cup. And it's Team New Zealand in the windward position. Up by the committee boat, down to Lou in the head. It is Young America out by the pin. So pretty much an even start as both boats on starboard heading out towards the left.
Okay, good height already, good pace, good height.
The New Zealanders look like they've got really good height, really good height.
Climbing away right now. This is looking good.
The New Zealanders have hit the elevator. They're starting to lift off Young America. Boy, they've got better height. Look at the power of Team New Zealand. They've hit the elevator. So here we come.
Smack right on top of them.
To the first cross of race 1 of America's Cup 95.
Wait one.
And it is Young America that has made the first move. The Stars and Stripes crew are on port.
He'll go now.
They're on port. So here goes New Zealand, going through the eye of the wind, and they're tacking right in their pikes.
Okay, unfortunately, Team New Zealand hit a bad sea there, right at the apex of the tack. When they were head to wind, they smacked their bow into a sea. That would have slowed them a little bit, but they have the power of starboard tack.
Might be tacking here, guys.
Tom Wooden just passing on the communication to KR. Team New Zealand tacking right in the face of Young America. Young America bailing out back onto starboard tack. I think a small gain to Young America there from the last cross.
Mark 1, Craig Monk, Matthew Mason on the hoist at the mast. Look for Couto, he brings the bow down quickly. This has been very, very good. At 31 seconds to Black Magic as the hoist goes up from the Stars and Stripes crew on Young America into leg number 2 under Spinnaker.
However, it soon became apparent that the Americans were not slowed downwind as they hunted the Kiwis.
Little bit of a rough jide there on Team New Zealand. Looks like the bowman's having a problem getting the rope, the brace into the spinnaker pole end.
It's not working, I heard the call.
That's the piston on the outboard end of the spinnaker pole, won't clam shut. So he can't get the spinnaker brace in there. He hasn't made an error, it's just the gear letting him down at this stage.
Well, it's all on down the second leg.
Well,
like
Young America have certainly made a big gain from the 31 seconds of the top mark. This is a very, very close boat race. What a thriller. Too close for the New Zealanders. Around mark number 2. Now it's for New Zealand to try and nail home what we perceive as maybe an advantage on the wind. Certainly Young America better off the wind on that leg.
Check on the jab, go guys.
Okay, watch for the tack.
So it's 12 seconds, 31 down to 12. The Americans are in the game again, but New Zealand is leading.
Here they go, breaking right. Now the danger in going right is they'll come back on starboard. Team New Zealand going with them.
So the New Zealanders immediately in sync.
With superior boat speed, Black Magic moved away from Young America, and really all Dennis Connor could do was watch.
And there's the gun. And Russell Coots and his team have beaten Team Stars and Stripes aboard Young America in race 1 of the America's Cup. So Stars and Stripes finishing 2:45 behind Team New Zealand.
Okay, he's calling Master Bean there. Coward must go down.
46.
Well, Coward's holding them up. The New Zealanders are in big trouble here now as Young America's forced them out. So the New Zealanders are well outside the committee boat. As now Cooch is bringing it back.
It's not disaster because they've got room to tack, provided they can get their bow down here.
So Young America has gone down the line. They're on starboard. Here go the New Zealanders now. They're very, very slow at 15 seconds. They're trying to build up speed. The Americans are going down the line. They're full tilt. It's going to be a slingshot start for the Americans. The New Zealanders are starting to build up speed as they're coming round the stern of the committee boat. The Americans have done this brilliantly. They're out by the pin. Now the New Zealanders sneak around the stern of the committee boat. So there's no doubt about it that Young America has won that start.
Yes, he got absolutely nailed there.
But as they clear the start line and bring it up to date, Team New Zealand living there very nicely. Look at that already. They're starting to lift off Young America. The Americans are consistently sailing a little bit lower, just like they did 2 days ago. It's now back to a very even boat race.
We think keep it going or maybe go out?
Take us at it? I think so.
Let's do it, guys.
So here goes Young America for the first cross. And Young America have moved on to port. It is Team New Zealand on starboard. The first cross of race 2 of America's Cup 95.
Slam
and the New Zealanders
slam them right now. There we go. Keep the right.
In front. New Zealand in command. So now it is Incidel 32 Black Magic as they are going through onto port. They're on the port ley line.
Bad tack, bad tack. They've had a problem. It's not a disaster.
A problem aboard the New Zealand boat. They can't get the headsail in. So New Zealand at Mark 1, race 2, America's Cup 95 in front. 39 seconds to Black Magic at the end of leg 1.
Can you slack that side?
Wow, lovely set. Look at that. They had that up and set before the transom cleared the mark. Super set.
But it was going to take more than top-class crew work for the Americans to catch the flying Kiwis.
Team New Zealand is just destroying Young America up this leg. So far it has been a gain of 8 boat lengths. That equates to around 200 metres. As Peter Lester just mentioned, that they are consistently sailing high, whether it be a combination of sailing into the building breeze first, but I think also it comes down to just pure good old-fashioned boat speed, because the black boat today is just stomping all over Young America on this upwind leg.
Black Magic gets the gun. Incidel 32 has beaten Young America in race 2 of America's Cup 95, and they have gone 2-0 up. What an outstanding performance. So 4 minutes and 14 seconds.
Nice job.
You see any boats ahead of us? Are there any boats ahead of us? Coming up on a minute.
Down 2-0, American helmsman Paul Cayard came out the next day with gloves off.
Very early. There's the mast line call. Now Cayard cannot luff now. It's been called mast line. Provided Team New Zealand stay forward of mast line, he cannot luff above close haul. It's very early here.
42, 40, 38, 37.
Very, very early.
Well, they're right up to the line.
Yeah,
New Zealand boats in the windward position.
Hopefully they've got room to tack.
Tack and start the committee boat. 29, 28.
You've got to watch the transom.
Grandmother said tack and start at the committee boat. So Cooch has got to bring the bow down. They're well over the line at the moment.
You're right,
behind the line, they'll be fine.
Okay, I'd go the other way. It'd be split tack. Team New Zealand taking their favoured right-hand side of the course.
All right, well, it's coming down to a split tag start here at the start of race 3.
Going to be close.
It's Young America going out to the pin end of the line. Meanwhile, it's Team New Zealand coming out to the committee boat. Right on the button.
Lovely, lovely.
If they tried that 1,000 times, they couldn't have it more precise on Black Magic. Just as the bow was coming up right to the line, the gun went. So both boats now on a split tack start.
Great start by Brad and Russell. Full chat at the weather end, on port. Doesn't matter, they're split tacks, so both boats now, if they tack, they're on even tacks.
We're still higher than her.
Here they go, here they go. They must feel they've got crosswind bearing so they can nail them on starboard here.
Okay, so coming in at the first tack, it's Team New Zealand now coming in on starboard. Remember, Young America has port. They must give way. What are the Americans going to do?
They put a bow down. Got good speed.
The New Zealanders are going to cross. First cross. Black Magic in front. Again.
He's going under. He's going under. Come on, Team New Zealand, get your bow down. He's called mast line. He can't luff now above close haul. Umpire's right there. He's got fresh air. Is it a slam dunk?
White
Can
flag.
he live there?
There's a white flag on Young America. Tom Wooden.
Americans protesting.
He's a little higher, and
We're waiting for the umpires.
Green.
Green flag.
Be very close here.
The New Zealanders will go to attack in their face.
Now Young America will have to, they're forcing Team New Zealand to attacking duel. Watch for Young America to go back. Here they go, they're going now. Watch Team New Zealand going with them. No.
Dummy tack by Young America. The New Zealanders haven't taken the dummy.
Bow down, going for speed. Good gain there for Team New Zealand.
Tremine up.
Now I think they're going to go. Team New Zealand should have good speed.
In sync. Now the New Zealanders are going, tacking, trying to nail it home. Last night at the media conference, Jim Brady said the New Zealanders seemed reluctant to engage in a tacking duel. We'll see. Have the Americans underestimated the New Zealanders again? Here go the Americans back. On to starboard. Ferocious tacking duel now. It's a backstreet brawl.
At the first mark, it was the familiar sight of the black boat with its bow in front.
Here they go.
Tack set.
Black Magic on the runway to the top mark for the first time.
Look how far Young America is sneaking there. Jenica.
Now that is a sneak. They've got the damn thing 3/4 of the way up already.
It's third spread of sneak on the tack set.
Here goes Young America around. 20 seconds at the end of leg 1.
Okay, watch for halyard. Bow down.
Hold the brakes better.
Russell keeping the bow down to allow the guys on the foredeck to get the Jenica in.
Go, mate.
Here goes Maine to help him turn the boat. Mainsail going. Mainsail going.
Trim up. Go trim, guys. Go like hell.
Lovely rounding.
Start up, and get ready and hit it.
Look at that. Perfect yacht.
Young America then, not yet at the mark. Meantime, Team New Zealand sails away down leg number 3. 20 seconds was the first leg rounding. It's now a minute further on, a minute 20 at leg number 2.
I'm sure as the regatta goes on, Team Dennis Conner will get stronger. It's just a matter they're starting to run out of races. This is the best they've sailed this boat, and they almost look competitive.
But it still wasn't enough for the Americans to be able to make any impact on Black Magic.
Okay, ready? Jiving.
So going through the jibe, trying all the way right to the finish. Team New Zealand, NZL 32, gets the gun, and they have beaten Young America for the 3rd successive time. It is Team New Zealand 3, Team Dennis Conner 0.
Conner, of course, all the spectator boats running away from him. 1:51 the time. That was a slight extension, was it?
Come in.
Yeah, slight extension. 1:15, 30 to the line, 30 to kill.
1:10.
Pressure time here. Kayard has to keep out of the way. He is windward boat. Stand by for mast line call.
1 minute to go. Push and shove from the Kiwis. Push and shove. Can Coot start pushing Kayard up? Kayard's got nowhere to go but keep going up. He's only 10 seconds back from the line. He's 2 boat decks length from the line. The New Zealanders are controlling this. Coots has got right under the Americans.
Okay, nice position. Watch for Kayard to tack away. Team New Zealand will go bow down and go, and it may well be split tack start. Here they go. Kayard is in fact over at this point. 32 seconds. Team New Zealand, I doubt if they'll follow. Watch them to go on to starboard. Kayard on the port, listening on the boat.
No problem. No problem. Full speed.
So Paul Kayard reassuring them no problem. Well, there's the voice of Tom Whitten, split tack start as the New Zealanders now are still diving deep. Why on earth aren't the New Zealanders coming back? Here they are coming to wind up. So it is the New Zealanders out towards the pin end of the line. Paul Kayard right up on the committee. Kayard living dangerously. The Americans have got to be over, have they?
No, I don't think so. We were right on the line.
Very close.
But I really don't think he was over. Kayard now breaking right on port, split tack start. Team New Zealand must like the left-hand side.
Tom Schnack taking range and bearing back towards Young America. From that, he can determine where they are in relation to the other boat, whether they're ahead or behind.
Team Stars and Stripes and Young America are in front at the first cross by a boat length or 2, maybe 3.
Tack on it. Go now.
Okay, Dennis is calling the tack on him. They obviously want the right. Okay, Team New Zealand behind. Pressure time. But they're behind. Braking left.
Here comes the second cross. It'll be interesting to see whether the New Zealanders have closed the game up.
In trouble here.
No way. No
Stay
way.
cool, guys. You're good enough.
He's tacking.
Okay, slow wind up. Here he goes. Okay, it's about a boat length. It's enough. They are still in touch.
Team New Zealand heading away on starboard tack has made a definite gain on Young America here. The animation picks it as down to less than 1 boat length now. The trick is, though, they're already out to 500 metres separation. There's Team New Zealand. See them there starting to dip away the yellow trail. Look for attack from Team. Here we go now. Just as we pick that shift with the animation, through they go onto port tack to stay in phase with the new shifting breeze out to the left-hand side.
Nice shift if this is real. Right now, we're actually pressured and we're just going like this on them on bearing, you know?
This should give the lead to Team New Zealand.
All right, now here we come in for the third converging tack.
Now what?
Yeah, now what? That's a very good call. Now what, Young
That's
America?
Paul Kayard. Well, there's a little bit of boat speed there, but you've got to give credit to Brad Butterworth, Murray Jones, and Richard Dodson. Richard Dodson and Murray Jones in the afterguard, who are the eyes on the water, giving it to Brad Butterworth. Absolutely brilliant. So coming to Mark 1 race for the New Zealanders in front, but they've had to come from behind to do it. Outstanding sailing by the black boat. They're in front because they've outsailed the Americans, who were leading at the first 2 crosses.
Good set.
This wasn't as much about boat speed. This was about putting your boat in the right spot and capitalizing.
Yeah, I agree entirely, Peter. They had such confidence in the weather to go left. They paid for it. And it's the guys in the back of the boat, Murray, Rick, reading the pressure, that really got them out of trouble there.
1 minute and 9 seconds. Team New Zealand leading Stars and Stripes.
New Zealand, the black boat, have just had a sensational regatta, losing 1 race on the water, and the Americans are as far adrift as anyone has been.
Well, the crew of Team New Zealand are delivering the 50th birthday present navigator Tom Snackerberg wanted. Closing to the finish of race 4 of America's Cup 95. Today has been more of the same as the first 3 races. Team New Zealand leading at every mark and now set to go 4-0 up over Team Stars and Stripes. That has never been achieved by a challenger against the United States. Only Stars and Stripes, the 12-metre challenging for the United States against the Australian defender Kookaburra of Fremantle, Western Australia, has gone 4-0 up, and that was enough to win the Cup in 1987. Now in 1995, it's first to 5. So coming down to take the gun in race number 4, Team New Zealand are now just 1 win away from winning the greatest prize in sailing.
As Peter Blake walked down to the boat on the morning of the last race, it seemed that everyone else in San Diego was also wearing lucky red socks. And when Russell Coutts took Black Magic out to do battle one last time, the crew received a rousing send-off from their Kiwi supporters.
Get on board this boat, New Zealand.
So it is Young America in the windward position. Team New Zealand down to leeward as they're coming up to the final 30 seconds.
Chaos early.
30.
He's called last line on the
27, 26, 25,
Chaos very
Down
early.
to the final 20 seconds, and Paul Kayard brings the bow of Young America up as it goes on to port. Meanwhile, the New Zealanders are coming up onto starboard as we're coming down to the final 10 seconds coming up now. It's going to be a split tack start. It is Black Magic NZL 32 on starboard going to the pin end. Meanwhile, it is Young America coming up to the committee boat, the gun now. And the Americans are up by the committee boat. They're on port, moving out to the right. Meanwhile, the New Zealanders split tack start on starboard, out to the left.
Okay, here go Young America now. They took that shift from the right. They're coming back. This will be the first cross here. They're doing it safe. Lee bow.
Actually, the wind kind of faded back to the left here.
So the first cross has New Zealand lee bowing on Team Stars and Stripes. So again, the pressure goes on Paul Kayard and his crew.
Looking like around a 1 boat length advantage to Team New Zealand as they split out to 500 metres apart. And looking there they go now as we come down onto water level. Team New Zealand preparing for attack. And as we go down, hang on to your breath, everyone. We're going underwater, and there's Team New Zealand's keel, complete with the flames tearing off the front of it. And Paul Sharp, our animation experts, giving the Kiwis a bit of a boost today as well. Sock it to 'em, Kiwis.
Mark 1, race 5 in the America's Cup 95, and Black Magic in front. Hold this position for another 5 legs, and the America's Cup is going to the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, West Haven, Auckland. 21 seconds at the end of the first beat to windward. The New Zealanders leading Team Stars and Stripes on Young America.
Team New Zealand made a very late decision to go from a Jenica to a Spinnaker downwind.
So coming to complete the first third of the race, the first windward leeward gone, 2 legs gone, 4 to go. Busy time on the foredeck, round Mark 2. 4 legs to go. If New Zealand hold this position, the America's Cup is coming to New Zealand. 21 seconds last mark. 21 seconds out to 32 seconds.
He's a traveler.
Big problems aboard Young America. Young America bareheaded.
Oh, we're going to put the same thing on. It's a halyard. Same sail, it's a halyard.
Putting the nail in the coffin here.
Dennis Conner grinding.
Well, that's a problem for Young America.
Whoa!
And this here, the New Zealanders have taken advantage of that. That would cost 2 or 3 boat legs at least. Mark 5 to complete the third and final beat to win with. Black Magic still in front. Just one leg to go. And if NZL 32 holds this position, the America's Cup will have a new home. The Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, West Haven, Auckland. So this has been a very, very good game to New Zealand as they're off to win the America's Cup.
You realise what you just said, Peter?
52-second advantage, and I do 1:44, 52 seconds.
Team New Zealand still well in front of Young America. It's around 400 metres. It was 450 at the top mark, so that's been a little bit of a gain to the Americans, but I guess at this stage it's academic. And as we come down alongside Team New Zealand there, and we look at the boat just sailing along, and we duck underneath the water once more, and there it is. We are heading, people, to 5-0.
In the last 20 years, the America's Cup has been dominated by Dennis Conner, who has set the standard. Now New Zealand's great rival is about to be the first man to lose the Cup twice. This time beaten by Team New Zealand, who have taken this game to a new level and so reached remarkable standards. 12 years ago, the call went out to stay Stand Up Australia. Now in 1995, it's Stand Up New Zealand. Black Magic is about to sail to an unprecedented 5-0 win and convincing victory. The America's Cup is now New Zealand's Cup, and for only the second time in 144 years, the most illustrious and elusive of prizes in sailing, international sport's oldest prize, leaves the United States, this time to a different down under, New Zealand!
That's it.
Now, joy and delight for Peter Blake, Russell Coots and the team, because finally, New Zealand really has something to shout about.
Team Stars and Stripes sail alone across the finish line.
Proud of you. Never quit.
And they are 5-0 losers.
Thank you.
Dennis Conner raises his cap to the winners and farewells the America's Cup again. The champagne was soon flying on board Black Magic as the backup team joined the racing crew for the celebration.
Getting it back. And Brad Butterworth, it's his own Brad Butterworth, who's under a hydro dam and rocks for a bit more.
For Team New Zealand syndicate head Peter Blake, this stunning victory was the culmination of several years' hard work.
New Zealand, little old New Zealand, I think that no one thought would get anywhere, has just won the America's Cup. It's only the second time in history that it's left America. I think that's pretty damn good.
Surrounded by an armada of spectator boats, the party continued on board Black Magic all the way back to the San Diego Yacht Club, where the America's Cup lay in wait. Team New Zealand grinder Andrew Taylor was the only person to have sailed in every Kiwi America's Cup challenge, and for Taylor the emotion of them it was quite overwhelming. And as Black Magic arrived at the San Diego Yacht Club, the response from the Kiwi supporters was quite phenomenal. And at last, the moment New Zealand had waited 10 years for, the America's Cup was theirs. For syndicate head Peter Blake and skipper Russell Coots, champagne had never tasted sweeter. Of course, no celebration would be complete without the obligatory dunking for the skipper. Russell Coots wet on the inside and on the outside, and Peter Blake not far behind. And then finally, after a long flight, the America's Cup was in its new home, and the people who had won it were given the biggest reception ever seen in New Zealand. There were spectacular street parades in the 4 main cities, each marking the success in a special way. Nearly a third of the population turned out to show Team New Zealand that the winning of the America's Cup was a truly remarkable achievement.
Stupendous, fantastic, terrific, marvellous.
Challenge on the water with the wind that's in the air. Oh, how we need those smiling faces to the heart of everyone's embraces. New Zealand sharing our emotions. New Zealand carry us away. The ocean, carry her to victory, sail around home to me.
Now we have climbed the highest mountain,
and we can tame the raging sea.
And what it takes is what we'll give
our quest for victory. All black magic and Kiwi pride. Silver ferns emblazoned on his side. New Zealand sharing our emotion. New Zealand carry us away. New Zealand sailing across the ocean, watching others in a way, sail around.